so tired. Been riding around all day and it's been quite warm. Okay, as you guys have probably figured out by now, I have my hands on the 2025 BMW S1000RR Race Edition, and I'm gonna spend the next couple of weeks to give you my first thoughts. Isn't she pretty? Really like the front of it. I love this color. I think it looks so cool. It looks kind of like a spaceship. So this is the third BMW S1000 that I've ridden. So I've ridden I think it was the 2020, the 2023 S1000 M Sport, and now I've ridden the 2025 S1000RR Race Edition. I'm going to do a quick overview so you can see the most iconic change is the front winglets. They are huge, but they don't even look too bad. With the Race Edition, we do have forged wheels. M logo there. Brembo brakes. A lot of pretty stock standard stuff. This quick shifter worked a dream. I really liked using that. It was my first time using the well-working quick shifter. That's a quick little overview. Sorry if there's something else you want to see. I am losing light. I'll grab some more stuff over the week. Alright, so you know when you get a new mic set up and you don't set it up properly? Well, that's kind of what I did. So unfortunately I lost all sound in my vlog of this video, so you're gonna have to just hear me speak. I will sit here and just talk through everything that I wanted to say while I was riding the bike. So here we are, let's go. So first off the bat, the first thing I noticed about this bike was, one, it was extremely comfortable to sit on. The ergonomics I thought were great, at least for my height. And the second thing, as soon as I started riding it, I couldn't help but notice how smooth everything felt. And when I say smooth, I mean the levers all felt really nice and smooth, obviously because the bike's new, but also just riding around felt really nice. I found the power delivery to be quite smooth and very predictable. And riding around somewhere like Sydney or going through roundabouts and being caught in traffic on a bike that's really smooth, it just makes the whole experience really comfortable. One thing that I do get told a lot by people who have owned or ridden S1000RRs and have tried out something else is they do tend to say that, yeah, this bike can get a little bit boring. And I understand where they can come from because it's so smooth, it's so predictable. You know what you're gonna get when you press on the throttle. So if you're looking for a lot more of a talkier bike that's a bit more gruntier, I can see why someone might not enjoy this bike as much. But honestly guys, like, if you're gonna be riding this on the road, I would love to take this out on the road and daily on the road. It's just really nice to ride. That's all I can say. Like, it's really nice. Some really cool things is the S1000RR does come with 3 seat options. You have the standard seat option, which is what I had been riding around in. You also have a lower comfort seat option and a race seat, which is a bit taller. So for those who are wondering if they're gonna be too tall or too short, I thought it was really cool that there were 3 seat height options that you can customize your bike with if you do choose to purchase. So I'm 163 centimeters tall, or 5'4", and the standard seat height was fine for the most part, but I did struggle here and there whenever the road was a little bit steep or slanted. So over time, you can imagine that if you're riding around all day, you get a bit fatigued, like that kind of stuff can catch you out. Having the 3 custom seat height options, it just means you don't have to lower the bike, which will affect the geometry. This bike also has a ton of electronics. I'm not gonna get into that. I've never really ridden a bike with electronics before, but I think the things that I did use the most was the different modes: rain mode, road mode, dynamic mode, and race pro as well. And you do have 7 modes overall. The additional race pro modes are for you to fully customize your setup. So if you were to take this out to the track, you can have your setup for certain tracks or certain conditions. You can also connect this bike to your phone. I didn't even get a chance to do that. I just wanted to focus purely on riding this bike. But long story short guys, heaps of features. I'm sure someone out there has a lot more they can say and add to that. And cruise control. Oh, and how can I forget the fuel gauge? So I'm pretty sure the S1000 is one of the only Litre bikes, if not the only Litre bikes, that have a fuel gauge on it, which comes in super handy. And if you're someone who gets fuel anxiety like I do, this is a no-brainer to have. Hello, sweet pea! I can't see my head. Thank you!
It's quiet as you want it.
The cutest. So this bike, which ships into Australia in boxes and parts, costs 35 grand shipping. That's insane. Wow. That's so good. We're getting kicked out.
Stick around with me, hold it down. Look at what we found. Said this a marathon, not a sprint. Let's go 100 miles. From the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down. That's the crown, only wear it proud. What they was talking about.
So that's some clips of just the Sydney scene. I went to a meet and the Rider Series event. Now today I'm gonna take this bike to visit my friend B, who's got the 2024 S1000RR. And at this point, I had this bike for maybe a week and I had filled out multiple times. One thing that I think doesn't get spoken about that much, especially when you're someone going from a mid-size to a full-size bike, is how much fuel these things take. Yeah, genuinely was so shocked. I think my range is only about 180 kilometers on this bike, which is 50 kilometers less, maybe a little bit even more than my R7. And I'll admit, it's a bit annoying having to fill up so much. One other thing that I also forgot is how hot Litre bikes get. Now, from memory, I don't think the S1000RRs are as hot as other bikes, but this is just something to keep in mind. Most of these days that I was filming, it's currently winter here in Sydney and we were averaging around 17 degrees Celsius. And as soon as it hit, I think 23 or 24 degrees on this particular day, oh my gosh, I was sweating. And also the day that I picked up this bike was a really hot day. I did pick it up right before peak hour traffic, so I got stuck in that. My leg got really hot. I think a lot of the hot air came out on the left side of the bike, and that's where my inner thigh was. But I think for someone who was a bit taller, you won't feel that as much. But for me, being, the size that I am, it just was on the most sensitive part of my inner thigh. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Now, here we are, we're pulling up and I'm gonna go for a quick ride and do some side-by-sides.
But it's so pretty every time I look at it. It looks so good. It's so pretty. I've got the 2024 S1000RR right next to the new 2025 S1000RR. This is my friend B's. She's got a custom pink color shift wrap on it and it looks so stunning. I don't know if the camera's picking up on this, but I just wanted to do a quick side-by-side between the two bikes. Overall, she's also got a billion carbon bits, so she's done this bike up very well. Stunning! Okay, so yeah, off the bat, they actually both feel quite similar. You have a really slightly different tail on the two, but I think this one doesn't have the seat on it. Okay, I have made it here and we've got a lineup, so I want to show you because some of these bikes are really cool, lots very heavily modded. One of the most frustrating things is going to places with people who are faceless on socials, so excuse the angle of the ground.
Plug this tire.
Hey!
Hello! So cute. That light up. Perfect timing.
Woohoo! Hello! I love it. I love it a lot. I like it so much. I'm not the only girl. Woohoo. Guys, I ran out of booze.
Alright, Ben,
so
I'll get you to line up and go a bit more like that. And then I'll get you on this side. So right next to me. Yeah, that's good, that's good. Can you get a bit closer? Yeah.
I think it was nice to see that all the boys from this shoot did also complain about how hot they were as soon as we hit the car park and we couldn't get through. So yeah, I think that's just a Litre bike thing. Ideally, I would have been speaking to you as I rode and giving you real-time feedback where the video matches up, but that's essentially everything I wanted to cover. I guess this video is for anyone who has been considering a S1000RR or wants to get one. I'm not paid to make this video. I'm not paid to give any specific opinion. I did get this bike on a loan from BMW for me to ride around and see how I go with it, which was really cool. Overall, who would I recommend this bike to? It all honestly depends on your riding style. So if you're someone who's after a lot of raw power, torquey, you know, the bike's got a lot of character, I'm gonna say that this might not be something that you'd totally love and fall in love with. Everyone's different. At the end of the day, you've got people who love their 2-cylinders, 1-cylinders. So I don't think it's fair to say that it's good or bad. I think for the right person, this is a great bike. Another drawback or common comment about this bike is that there's a lot of rider assistant aids. So heaps of electronics kind of can make a not so great rider a great rider. So it's kind of like a cheat code bike. Those can all be turned off. I think there is value in that anyway, especially if you're someone considering going from a mid-sized bike or you want to finally get your first Litre bike because you want a big bike. Look, at the end of the day, you ride what you want and people are free to spend their money however they want to. I do think that if you're someone that's wanting to make that transition step and hasn't had that much experience with high-powered bikes, I think this bike is a great bike to enter that category. If you're more similar like me and sometimes you just want to ride a bike that's just predictable, you know what it's going to do, I would say that this is an extremely comfortable bike and a great contender for that. And that being said, will I get one? I would love to track one, and I think at that point, I would make my decision. I feel like I'm someone that until I track a bike, I don't really know what it's like and I don't really ride it properly. And I really don't ever break in the bike until I get the chance to track it. So big shout out to BMW Motorrad Australia for letting me take this bike around for a couple weeks. I had so much fun on it. I think it's a perfect bike to ride around in winter. I think I would hate myself in summer, but that's just me being someone who's sensitive to heat. I hope this answered some questions that you may have had on the bike, or if you're one of the girls out there that want someone else's opinion, maybe this helps you. Those are my thoughts. They're neither right or wrong. I think if you get the chance to ever try this bike, definitely do. Bikes are here to let people have fun, and people have fun in different ways, and people like different character styles. So don't yuck someone else's yum. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. I will try my hardest to get more content out. I don't know, if you follow me on socials, you know how much other stuff I've been getting involved in, but I'm hoping to return back to making content again. Oh, I think I just need to get more help. Anyway, until next time. I am having so much fun on this thing. Isn't she stunning? I need to work on my gimbal legs, but you know, here we are. Oh my god, that's hot. Hold on. Go, let me take a photo.